You don't need more leadership strategies. You need more self-awareness, because here's what most leaders don't realize. You can work hard, care deeply, and show up consistently and still feel completely off in your leadership. Not because you're doing too little, but because you don't fully understand how you are wired, how God created you. And when that happens, everything starts to feel heavier. Decisions take more energy, people feel harder to navigate, and even simple conversations can feel draining. So you push harder, you try to adjust, you try to lead like people around you who seem to have it all figured out. But what if the issue isn't your effort? What if it's your awareness? Because when you don't understand yourself, you end up fighting yourself, and that's a battle that no leader wins. Before we get started, I want to thank our legacy partner, Craig Williams, founder of Conversary. At Spark Hope, we believe story matters because story shapes how we lead, how we connect, and how we show up in the world. Conversary helps authors and leaders bring clarity to their story and confidence to their voice so that their brand truly reflects who they are. You can learn more about their work by visiting the link in today's show notes or on the Spark Hope website. Thank you, Conversary, for supporting the Lead with Hope podcast. Hey, friend, welcome back to the Lead with Hope podcast. I'm Brandi Kelly, speaker, author, mental health, and leadership coach, and I help leaders grow from the inside out so they can lead themselves well and lead others better. Today, we're going to be talking about something simple on the surface, but deeply transformational in practice: self-awareness and how it changes the way you lead, communicate, and make decisions. Most leaders think that the goal is to become more well-rounded. But what if the real goal is clarity? Clarity about how you're wired, clarity about how other people are wired, and clarity about what actually drives behavior. That's where the DISC assessment helps us see. And once we see it, it can't be unseen, because suddenly what used to feel frustrating starts to feel understandable. Let's make this really practical. DISC gives us 4 primary leadership styles, and each one communicates, decides, and responds to stress differently. First, there's the D style, the dominant, direct, fast-paced, results-driven. They want to know what's the outcome and how fast can we get there. And the way we communicate with them, we need to be brief. We need to be direct and focused on results. They're driven by efficiency, winning, control, and speed. And under stress, they fear losing control and will take over quickly if they feel it's slipping. I is influencing. These people are energetic, relational, expressive, and they bring connection and enthusiasm to their leadership. When you communicate with an I, be engaging, allow space for the conversation, and follow up with clarity. They're driven by people and excitement and recognition. They fear rejection and will seek more attention or affirmation if they feel unseen. Now the S is steady, calm, loyal, supportive. They create stability and they create trust in their teams. When you communicate with an S, slow down, be warm and personal, and they're driven by security, consistency, and relationships. Under stress, they may fear instability and they can withdraw instead of reacting. And then there's the C, compliant, analytical, precise, thoughtful. They bring structure and accuracy to leadership. When you communicate with the C, be clear, provide data, and don't rush them. They are driven by logic, accuracy, systems, and correctness. And under stress, they may fear criticism and tend to overanalyze or delay decisions. And here's why it matters to know how we're wired. When you don't understand these styles, you can take things personally and think, "Oh, they're really intense," or "Man, they're just so slow." Or maybe you think they overthink everything. But when you understand DISC, you realize that these people aren't difficult, they're just different. And that shift creates something powerful. It creates clarity. And clarity is one of the deepest forms of rest a leader can experience, because you're no longer fighting yourself or misreading everyone around you. Let me reframe this for you. Self-awareness aligns your leadership because when you understand how you're wired, you stop overcompensating. You stop trying to lead like someone else, and you start leading with intention, understanding your DISC style. Your DISC style reveals how you operate at your best. And that's where hope lives, in knowing you don't have to become someone else to lead well. Let's pause for just a moment because I want to tell you about a partner who truly aligns with the heart of this podcast, Commissary. Here on Lead with Hope, we talk a lot about clarity of purpose, clarity of voice, and clarity of direction. And that's exactly where Commissary comes in. They help leaders, educators, and change makers uncover the story behind their work and share it in a way that feels honest, meaningful, and deeply aligned with who they are. If you've ever felt the nudge to write a book, refine your message, or build a brand that actually reflects your values, not just your resume, Commissary doesn't rush you or box you in. They walk alongside you, helping you shape your story with intention and integrity. A big thank you to Craig Williams and Commissary for being a legacy sponsor of this podcast and for investing in stories that matter. Because when we share our stories with clarity and hope, real change happens. So here is your leadership reset this week. First, identify your DISC style. If you don't know it yet, this is your next step. Second, notice your decision drivers. Are you driven by results, people, stability, or accuracy? And third, watch your stress response. Do you take control, seek affirmation, withdraw, or overanalyze? And fourth, adjust communication accordingly. If you're ready to go deeper in this work, I want to personally invite you, reach out to me to learn more about the DISC assessment. I'll walk you through your results and help you apply them directly to your leadership. The link is in the show notes if you want to learn more about the DISC assessment or take the assessment with me. Clarity starts with one step. If you've been feeling stretched, misaligned, or unsure of your next step as a leader, this might be the missing piece. You don't need to try harder. You need to understand yourself better. So go to the show notes, click the link, and reach out to learn how you can take the DISC assessment. I'm opening 10 spots this month for DISC Leadership Clarity Sessions. Once those spots are filled, they're filled. So if this is your next step, don't wait. Let's get you the clarity you need to lead yourself well and lead others better. That's a wrap for today's episode of Lead with Hope. Remember, the world needs your leadership and change starts with you. Fuel your life with hope, embrace your purpose, and shine your light for others. If this episode inspired you, I'd be so grateful if you could take a moment to give us a 5-star rating and share it. Every review helps spread hope and empowers more leaders to rise. Thanks for listening, and until next time, keep leading with hope.